Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Ooh, that's some funky feedback. Hey everyone, welcome to today's free training on Instagram, where we're going to discuss what are Instagram hashtags and how do they work. I'm going to basically answer 6 or 7 of the most popular, what I would call frequently asked questions from people who take my training, and discussions I hear from folks as well when it comes to Instagram and hashtags. So let's go ahead and dive right in. The first thing is, what is an Instagram hashtag? Okay, an Instagram hashtag is a word or a short phrase, usually 1 to 3 words, that has the pound sign or the number symbol up front, in front of it, right? And then hashtags are used on social media platforms, pretty much all of them, but most popular are Instagram and Twitter. Okay, and so just some examples in case you really have no clue what a hashtag is. Social media is a hashtag, as I've written it here: Mississauga business, dogs of Instagram, love, and ham aunt, which is the short form for Hamilton, Ontario. And if you are in Hamilton, Ontario, and especially if you have a brick and mortar, you'll want to use that hashtag, okay? And whatever city you are in, you want to find the city hashtag, your city hashtag. And there are oftentimes more than one city hashtag. So do a little bit of research to find those. And at the end of today's presentation, we will definitely cover how to search for hashtags. Okay, so let's move on to the next. Why are hashtags important? Hashtags are essentially Instagram's sorting process. Hashtags help your post get discovered by viewers most interested in seeing that content. Notice how I said viewers here, and I didn't say your audience, and I didn't say your followers, because the really cool thing about hashtags is you can be found by people who are not following you. You can be found by people who've never heard of you based on the hashtags that you use. Okay, so hashtags are a way to categorize posts. They help you reach a target or a niche audience, and they help your target audience find you. Again, I'm going to repeat, using good niche hashtags will help you be found by people that are currently not following you. An example here at the bottom is you can use the hashtag realtor if you're a realtor, but that probably has 30 million posts using it as well. Your post will be a needle in the haystack and not be found. So change that, stop using realtor and use, if you're in the city of Burlington, Burlington Realtor or Hamilton Realtor, okay? Or whatever city you're in, use that hashtag instead, niche down. All right, next thing I want to talk about is there are different types of hashtags that you can use. Again, these hashtags allow us to be much more specific and niche down more to be found easier by the people who really want to see our content. So I'll just share with you that there are hashtags that are categorized as product or service. So hair salon, okay, nail salon, okay, that kind of thing. Then we have industry niche hashtags, black hair salon. So the more that you can drill down with your hashtags, or the more specific you can be, the easier it is for you to be found by your right audience. You're going to notice these keywords I keep repeating over and over again because I want to make sure it sinks in. We're not here just for anyone. We're here for specific people that we know we serve based on the product and the service that we offer. Okay, so the next bulleted list down is branded hashtags. You should all have a branded hashtag and you should use those on all of your posts. For example, I have a branded hashtag, Christine Hall Online. I use that on all of my posts. In fact, I use that on all of the platforms, the social media platforms. And if someone were to go into Google, like the search window, and type in hashtag Christine Hall Online, you would get pages and pages of content from all the different platforms that I am on. So it's a great idea. Create yourself a branded hashtag, stick with that branded hashtag and use it all the time. I would recommend that you research that hashtag and make sure the hashtag works for you. And you don't own a hashtag. Okay, so just because maybe your name is Teresa Rice with a Y doesn't mean there isn't another Teresa Rice out there who could be also using Teresa Rice. So be more specific or niche even your branded hashtag so that you can ensure you're the only one out there using it. One lady on the class said, well, I don't want them to use it. What do I tell them? Doesn't belong to you, girl. So we actually came up with a few suggestions, and some of the hashtags that we came up with, she actually preferred one much better than the one she was originally going to use. So it might take some brainstorming to think about the better, more complimentary branded hashtag for you. Then there's things like campaign hashtags. Remember the ice bucket challenge, you guys? Who did the ice bucket challenge? Or I should say, who didn't do it, right? Exactly. So you can jump on the bandwagon sometimes by using campaign hashtags, and you can even come up with your own campaign hashtags to use. Then we have user-generated content hashtags. For example, the MAWB network, that's our handle, the @MAWB network, but that's also the branded hashtag I use on MAWB posts, and also the branded hashtag I ask others to use on Instagram, so that I can find posts that you've shared by having that hashtag. And when you create a branded hashtag and you ask your users to use that hashtag, then you'll want to follow that hashtag. And I'll show you how to do that if you're not doing that. And you can follow your own hashtag. You can follow other hashtags. And it's very critical. Sorry to drop this here right now, this little bomb thing, this little nugget in the middle of the types of hashtags. But my nugget here is whatever hashtags you use, you want to follow those hashtags. Okay. And you want to comment on posts using those hashtags, because that shows the algorithm, oh, this person is serious. They really do show this content, like this content, and interact with this content. So I'm going to show more of their posts to people who also like, use, and share content using this hashtag. Okay. Really important. To like, comment, and share on posts that are using the hashtags as well that you use. Again, I'll go back to the example of Burlington Realtor. If you're a Burlington Realtor, you're going to follow that hashtag, you're going to use that hashtag, and you're going to comment on hashtags that are using that hashtag. Comment on posts that are using the hashtag, pardon me. Okay, going down, what do we have? Instagram has community hashtags as well. Dogs of Instagram, teachers of Instagram, book lovers of Instagram, you know, nutritionists of Instagram. Check it out. See which ones fit your niche, your industry, your product or service. Then there's also event or conference hashtags. So if you are going away on, this time of year, I find January, and then we have spring, and then we have the start of fall, where all the direct sales companies tend to have their annual conferences, and they do give out a hashtag to use. Definitely use those hashtags, because you can be found by other people. And if enough people are using them, it creates a buzz and pushes things to the top. So I gave you an example here of a hashtag called Buzz Conference, a real estate hashtag. Next, you have cultural movement hashtags, like we saw a lot the last couple of years, the Black Lives Matter. Okay, so cultural movement hashtags. And then we have acronym hashtags. Quote of the day, QOTD, TBD, Throwback Thursday, TGIF. There is so many out there that you can use. Typically, acronym hashtags will have a lot of posts following them. And so you're not necessarily going to be found using those posts, but they can be helpful to get you quick likes right away when a post is published. I'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes. But these are just some examples of the different types of hashtags you can include on your content, on your posts. So that leads to the next big question of, well, how many hashtags should I be using? Well, I'll let you know that Instagram allows you to add 30 hashtags to each post. Okay. And if you try to add more than 30 hashtags, it won't post the information. Or sometimes what happens is the information gets, I can't seem to sign in. I don't know the person's name. Sorry. What happens is when you try to post or publish an Instagram post with more than 30 hashtags, what we see sometimes is that the post disappears. So just be careful about how many hashtags you're using. Okay, 30 is the max. The average right now is around 11. And that's a recent study I saw. So what I'm going to say to you is really test it out. See what works for you. I'm a believer in a little bit more is better, but make sure they count. Don't just throw in more because you can, so I usually go for something like 11 to 15. And really, if I go back up to this slide, you can get 11 to 13 in because if you do a couple of product and you do a couple of niche and you do a branded, and then you do either an event or cultural, you can definitely do that. You can get 11 to 15 in. And I didn't even mention the geographic hashtags that I think are really important. Like if I see Sam's on the line, Sam's, I believe, located in York region. So maybe she's going to put York region in her hashtags, because I believe Sam also has a brick and mortar business. So she wants to attract people to that. Okay. So also geographic hashtags are important. The name of the city you're in. That's what I mean by that. And as I said earlier, in case you missed it, depending on what city you're in, different hashtags are out there for your city. So check that out. And okay, did I finish all of these points here? 30 hashtags. I think I got all these, right? Yes. The second last point is more doesn't mean it's better. It's better to have very niche hashtags. So something that has, 30 million posts, like a hashtag that's being used on 30 million posts, it's not going to help you. So don't use it, right? Think about using a more niche hashtag. And when I go in to show you the search feature, I'll show you where you will see the number of hashtags, the number of posts, pardon me, using that hashtag. Okay. Now, Instagram itself, Instagram said users should include no more than 3 to 5 hashtags per post. That's what they said. If you want to use that ruling, go for it. Again, I like to think if we don't use it, we kind of lose it, right? There is opportunity by having a niche hashtag that I can actually be found. So I definitely try to use 11 to 15, but not overdo it. Not unnecessarily. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Should I add hashtags to every post? Yes. Hell yes. You absolutely should have hashtags on every single post. Choose hashtags, as I said before, that are narrow and niche. The less the volume of posts a hashtag has, the more likely you will be seen by the people who follow them. Follow the hashtags, okay? Just a show of hands, how many people are currently following hashtags right now? How many people currently follow hashtags? Fantastic. Good idea. As I said, it shows the algorithm, the hashtags you use, the hashtags you follow, the hashtags you interact in. It shows the algorithm the importance and will push your post to more of those people. Then what do I have here? Third point. If the subject matter is highly specific, people are more likely to want to engage in your post. Okay. Next slide I have here. All of my posts are similar. Can I use the same hashtags over and over again? No, a resounding no. Okay. Instagram's algorithm may penalize you for consistently using the same hashtags, pushing your posts down so that they don't even show up for those searches, and they don't even show up in those hashtag results. Even more, they might ban your account, and they really do not like identical hashtags. It could make you look like a spammer or a bot, and that is something they're really trying to avoid. So we really want authentic, thought-provoked, deep. Take the time to find those hashtags that are relevant to each and every post. Okay, so today, if I post something about self-love, I'm not going to post something about networking. I'm not going to put a hashtag on it called networking events. I'm not going to put a hashtag on it called, I don't know, social media. If I'm posting something about self-love, I'm going to have self-love, self-compassion, things like that on the hashtags. Okay. The other thing is, I'll just share with you that if people are following a hashtag, social media tips, let's say as an example, and they read something and it's not anything to do to social media tip, they can actually click the ... and say, don't show me this content anymore. Okay, so they in effect could block you from showing up on the newsfeed. So just take caution, just take your time. If it's not relevant, get rid of it. It's better not to have it. Okay. Where should I post my hashtags is my next big question from people. And there used to be a giant debate before about putting it in the comment or putting it in the caption or putting it down below in the comments. And people were 50-50. It is absolutely, definitely not the comment section. Instagram has stated that it does not search the comments for hashtags. It's only looking in the caption itself. My recommendation is to put the hashtags at the bottom of your caption, because really the reader doesn't need to see that. Okay, they don't need to see that content. So put it at the bottom. And please avoid doing this. I'm going to make this bigger. Okay. I want you to see, this was a post. I'm just going to move this out of the way. Do not hashtag random words in your caption. I absolutely cannot stand this. And what is this person trying to achieve? I like to hashtag wear my hashtag mini, hashtag crew, hashtag socks. No, this person could have said, I like to wear my hashtag mini crew socks. Mini crew socks is very specific and niche, and it's probably the product that they sell. In the cooler months, nope, get rid of that. To cover my ankles, no, get rid of that. There's no reason to have the hashtag there. However, she could have said, or he could have said, these are the liner socks. So liner socks could be the brand or could be the product, right? They're thin. No, you don't need that. All of these words that are hashtagged, not necessary, confusing, not going to find this person, the audience they're looking for. Okay. So, think about that. And please don't put hashtags on miscellaneous words. Okay. Sorry. My rant is over. Have you guys seen that before in posts? Kind of annoying. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, so then how do you search hashtags on Instagram? So I'm assuming everybody's watching me on their desktop right now, and you have your hands free to grab your phone. If you do, I will just show you, go into Instagram. Okay, so Instagram app on your phone. And then once you're on Instagram, I want you to take note of the 5 buttons along the bottom, and there's the magnifying glass. Does everybody see that? Let me just turn off this share so I can see your lovely faces. Okay, so once you get into Instagram and the 5 buttons along the bottom up here, you're going to click on the magnifying glass. And when you click on the magnifying glass, at the very top, you're going to see a search text box. And in the search text box, type in, let's say your title, like if you're a nutritionist, a VA, if you're a realtor, whatever you have, type in your title. So I'm just going to type in social media as an example. Okay. And I'm not going to put any spaces. I'm just going to do social media words, 2 words together. And after I type that in, you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, this blue search button. So you can tap on search. Okay. Now, when you type in search, what's going to happen is it's going to show you posts, or it's going to show you reels, or it's going to show you carousels, right? It's going to show you images. But what I want you to take note of is just underneath the word, that search text box, there are 5 little buttons up there. Do y'all see those? We have the current button we're on is kind of the current menu where it's showing us the content that it came back with based on that keyword. So mine would look obviously very different from yours. The next one is a head. So that shows us the accounts. Okay, this is accounts with social media in their name. And then we have music. Okay. And then the 4th one is what I want you to look at, which is the hashtag. So I typed in social media, and at the very top, results that came back with social media marketing, 20 million posts. That's social media marketing. Social media has 33 million posts. Social media manager, 3.6. So are these going to be good for me to post or to use on my posts where I'm sharing social media tips? Probably not, They're not going to be great because that means my post will be one of 20 million, right? If I maybe did social media tips, so for you, I want you to look, what did you type in there? Did you type in realtor? Now after realtor, type in Burlington or type in Burlington realtor and see the difference it makes there with your results. Okay, so I typed in social media tips, and now I think I have results that are so much more appealing. So I have social media tips and tricks, 231,000. Social media tips for business, very good one at 67,000. I'm going to show you something in a moment, a little strategy for which ones to pick based on the numbers of posts that they're used in. Okay, but right now I just want you to see how to search. You type in your keyword and then you get results. Continue to refine that by adding another word before or after, and it narrows down and becomes more niche. Instead of Burlington, maybe Burlington Homes, Burlington Real Estate. Instead of virtual assistant, VA phone service or phone service, right? You continue to narrow it down so that you're not seeing the results of hashtags that have millions of people following them, like 30 million, ridiculous. We're not going to be found there. Is everybody okay using the search to see how when you add a keyword before or after and combine words, how you are continuing to drill down and are niche down, and then you're looking at posts with hashtags with lower posts. Okay, if you see hashtags that have 100, those aren't good either. Why? Anyone think of when we have hashtags that are being used by 30 million, we know that we're not
too many.
we're not going to be found because there's too many, needle in a haystack. But when we have hashtags that are only being used by 100 people or 100 posts, that means no one's searching for that. No one's looking for that. Okay. I'm going to show you some numbers in a second to help you kind of figure out which of these hashtags to use. I started working with this client who said, this is so awesome. We're using all these hashtags and no one else is using them. This is so great. And I'm like, no, that's not great because no one is searching for that content. And the problem was they were just stringing too many words together, or they were using way too many branded hashtags. And that doesn't serve us. That doesn't help us. Okay. It just kind of looks junky. So is everyone okay with that little search you did there? Okay. All right. Let me go back to my screen share for a second. Can you see, Fernanda, my screen again, the Instagram screen? Okay. So this is the example that I just took you through. And, I typed in real estate and you can see the results. Even real estate has 80 million. Okay. So Burlington real estate, Oakville real estate, drill it down. So I follow Jen Herman, and she has the strategy that I really like to use and I share. So what you want to do, and this strategy will get you about 13 to 15 hashtags, okay, on your posts. So you want to look for hashtags that are very popular hashtags in your niche, in your field, okay? Like try not to use love because it's way too generic, unless you're a love coach, but then I'd use love coach anyway. But she has this theory, and it works, that if you use hashtags that are just a few, 3 to 5 max, that have between 300,000 and 1 million, they're very popular, but they'll get you immediate activity from non-followers. Okay, your non-followers will see those and you'll get some likes and some views and some impressions, okay? And then you want to look for 3 to 5 moderately popular hashtags. So hashtags that have 80,000 to 300,000. Now, the thing with this is you're likely to be found within hours and days after publishing your post because of that hashtag, 80,000 to 300,000. And then you'll have your really niche specific hashtags. And this would be less than 80,000. Okay. And this could be have you found in the Explore window for weeks or even sometimes months, okay, after you have published that post. So this might take a little bit of research for you. You might have to dedicate 1 or 2 hours to sit down and go, this is my product, this is my service, this is my offering, this is my audience, this is their problem. And for each one of those, write down specific words or key phrases. And then go into Instagram and say, okay, if my audience is, I don't know, women in their 40s, 40 plus, 40 and fit. Maybe you're an instructor, a fitness instructor, and you specialize in women over 40. Look for those kind of hashtags and then write down the hashtags with the numbers. And then you'll know which ones you can use. And I don't recommend writing it down. I actually prefer using a spreadsheet, a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. Write down the hashtag with the number beside it. And so you know you have your popular hashtag, moderately popular, and your specific. Write those down with the numbers, okay? And then you'll be able to pick and choose subsets. You'll be based on what you post. Is everybody okay with this? Okay, so I'll send out the slide deck afterwards, but very popular, moderately popular, and then your niche. And you're going to do 3 to 5 of each of those. And then also include your branded hashtag. Hopefully within those is your area as well. I find that very helpful. You know, Mississauga Business, Mississauga Iggers, which is our Instagram handle for people in Mississauga, Mississauga Women. Those would be what I would mean by the geographic hashtags. Yes, I can use Mississauga, but then tagging things onto the front or end of it also helps me continue to niche down. Does that make sense to everyone? Yep. Got a few nods? Okay. So in summary, what I'm suggesting here is that you keep your hashtags organized, and you can, at the beginning, when you start out, and today might be the beginning for you. Today might be the first day you've really thought about this and been purposeful and intentful with your hashtags. But create a little spreadsheet for yourself with what you think your hashtag should be, and then go into Instagram and find out what the numbers are. And if it is above the million mark, maybe not for us. Right? So just look at those and then you'll find, and it's all trial and error, and you just got to keep practicing and keep looking and keep evolving with it. You're going to figure out your magic number of hashtags to use. I would say no less than 3, obviously no more than 30, but around the 11 to 15 mark works. And if you use Jen Harmon's strategy, around 15 to 17 is actually what works best for hers. You want to narrow down, niche down. Don't worry, you're not going to miss anyone. What you're doing by narrowing down and niching down is actually finding the right people. And the other thing in my tip number 4, research your competitors. Okay, research your competitors. Look at what other people are doing. Now, if the guy has only 200 followers and he's, not posting very often and he doesn't get any likes, he's not your competition, my friend. Don't look at him. Look at somebody who's 20, 30, 200,000, see what they're doing. The celebrities are very different because they don't even need to use hashtags and they're getting, thousands of comments. So don't compare yourself to them, but look at some top leaders in your industry, check out their accounts, see what hashtags they're using and see, oh, should I use those hashtags? Let me see what the numbers are on those. Okay. Also, another little tip, you can actually see who your competitors' followers are, and you could follow those people. Anyway, just a thought. Borrowing other people's audiences is a very good strategy for tapping into new network of people who are interested in the topic that you or the product or service you offer. Test out your related hashtags, right? It is a testing process. You have to see if it works. There is actually an analytics feature inside Instagram that shows you on each post if your post was followed by liked and seen by followers or non-followers. And if it's seen by non-followers, it's because of the hashtags. Okay, so check that out. You would go to your post in your newsfeed and you would see a button that says View Insights. And when you click on View Insights, you can scroll up and down and see how many likes, how many views, how many impressions, and the followers or non-followers. All right. Follow your own hashtags. I said this at the beginning. If you're a Burlington Realtor, you're going to follow Burlington Realtor hashtag, and you're also going to like and comment on those kind of posts. And of course, you're going to create your own brand campaign or branded hashtag. Okay. And I'll repeat this again. I did say it earlier. Hashtags allow non-followers to find you. They allow people to interact with you. And if they like what they see in the bio and on your newsfeed, then they're going to follow you. Maybe even click that link in bio button and, you know, start that journey with you. Maybe it's your free lead magnet, or maybe it's making a purchase. All right. So that is the quick summary of the 7 tips. I'm sure there was more tips in there. And I thank you very much. I'm going to open it up to Q&A in just 1 minute. I thank you for allowing me to share my love for Instagram and social media with you today. And in return, I'm going to take 30 seconds to tell you about my Instagram masterclass that's coming up. It's a 4-week Instagram masterclass starting on January 23rd. It runs for 4 Mondays. 3 of those are Zoom and 1 is in person. My favorite way to teach and my favorite way to learn, in fact. And so January 23rd, 30th, and Feb 13th are online. And then I have an in-person on February the 6th at Touchdown Co-working Space. I think many of you are familiar with it, and it's a nice central location for my audience. Those sessions are all 10 to 12. During this 4-week masterclass, you're going to learn tons and tips and tricks like I just talked about today, as well as different strategies for using Instagram for business. We're going to talk about Instagram posts, which type of posts, image, short video, or carousel. We're going to also show you how to do stories, and I'm going to show you the 7 very popular and important Instagram sticker stories to help you increase your engagement, because that is what we want. That's what tells Instagram that people like our stuff. Show more people, right? That's a fun class. And then I'm going to show you Reels. Reels is the day where we have our in-person training, and I absolutely love Reels. And honestly, I was so afraid to use them for so long because it was new and it was confusing, and I don't want to dance in front of the camera. But I'll tell you, I'm going to teach you actually a few really cool ways to use Reels by sharing individual 1 photo or a whole array of photos that you can just snap on your phone. But even more than that, I'm going to teach you how you can do tiny little 2 to 3 second videos on your phone, piece them together, and get a great looking reel. I'll show you as well how to find cool music, trending music. And that is the key with Reels, is that you have to use trending music. And then our last class is live videos. We'll show you how to start an Instagram live, how to invite people to your live, and how to allow others to join your live. It's a great idea for you to be showing up, being visible, being vulnerable, getting in front of the camera, and live is a great way to do that. And that is what the 4-week course is all about. Registration is open, and I actually had early bird that I had on until the 9th or 10th, and I've been having some technical difficulties in the back office. So I just want to let you know that I did extend the early bird pricing until the end of today. Okay. We do start on the 23rd. For those of you, and there's many of you in the class right now, in this training session, who are going to be joining us on that 4-week course. And just to let you know, I will be working on the private Facebook group this weekend, opening it up on Monday, and you'll get all the information and links that you need to get started. Okay, so thank you for that time. I am going to stop share, and I'm going to stop recording, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A. Sure, some of you have questions. Some of you, thank you very much for your patience. I know we're at 1:30